All right, guys, we are working on the rear end for the first gen. So, earlier in the video, you would have seen me, I put this in the lathe, well, without the hub on it, but I put the spindle in the lathe, machined it down. Now, what I'm going to do tonight, because I don't feel like pulling the rear end back out of the truck tonight, I am going to make the pieces for us to actually align from side to side. So I'll just do a quick rundown and then I'll take you over to the lathe and show you what I'm doing. So this is, the stuff in this tube is a piece of precision ground. And I wanted bigger precision ground, but I couldn't get bigger. That was the biggest that, well, they had 2-inch, which is too big. So this is 1-inch precision ground. And basically what you use this for is this is going to span from side to side on the axle. So what I'm going to do, this is a carrier race. I am going to make 2 of these out of this with a 1-inch hole in the middle so this will slide through it. So I got to make 2 of these out of this material. And then out of this material here, I am going to make another piece so that it fits inside here. And then this will there again slide inside of it. So these ones I'm probably going to make, being the way that this is designed, I'm probably going to make it relatively thick, to be totally honest, or relatively long. Probably make it, let's see, probably make it 4 inches, I think. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to make up, I'm not sure which one I'm going to do first. Maybe I'll do this one first, I guess, and then I'll do those ones. These ones are pretty straightforward, but I might have to monkey around with this. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. I might have to make maybe 4 small ones to make them slide in there. The problem is that you want to make it so that it has the most support you can get out of it so that it doesn't move around. That's why I wanted bigger precision ground, but the place I bought it from, they didn't have any bigger. And so we did 1-inch. I wanted to do 1 1/4. They just didn't have any 1 1/4. So that is what we're working on tonight. So I'm going to go get you guys set up. We'll be over by the lathe and we will make the one piece first and then we'll make the other piece. And yeah, we'll go from there.
And wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
All right, guys, we have the rear end out of the first gen sitting on some stands here. Get a little bit better access at it. So you guys seen earlier in the video where I did this. We need to now need to do it to this side. Need to do it to this side. Now, I'm going to square up this end. It's not perfectly square. I'm going to get it a little better. And I need to cut about 1/8 of an inch out of the tube more. So I get it straight. It'll be really close to that 1/8 of an inch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mirror what I did on this side. So we'll chop that off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this spot welded together. And then we'll, get it all, or I have to put the tool in it, which you guys sitting right there. The tool's in there, so it can make sure everything stays in alignment, and we'll tack weld everything. I'm gonna probably do my first pass in TIG, and then I'll just MIG weld it over top of that. And then basically the only other thing we have to do, other than put the diff back together, is I'm gonna cut these perches off, because the reason for that is these are 3-inch wide perches. I only want 2.5 inch wide perches. So we're going to replace it with these. I was hoping to get a little heavier duty ones, but I couldn't find the ones that I wanted. Were on back order. So it is what it is. So yeah, just have to open these up a little so that they actually go on top of the tube, because these are for a 3-inch tube. This is a 4-inch tube. Not a huge deal. These will work just fine for what we're doing. But obviously we won't be welding these on until we put the diff back in the truck and get the pinion angle set. And that was the biggest reason. 2 reasons I wanted to do that is, 1, these have a much bigger hole in them, so you have to have a special centering pin. And 2, I wanted to adjust the pinion angle, because the pinion angle was really close to where it needed to be. You know, if you're just driving around, it was just fine. But I want to have the pinion angle right where I want it. So we're going to cut those off after I get the diff welded, because I might put it back in one more time, just make sure everything's kosher after we do, you know, some decent spot welds on it, just to make sure everything's going to be the way we want. It's a lot easier to change it before you put it all back in the truck. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shore this side up, so get everything nice and square, and then we'll cut this side off, machine it, get it the right spot, and tack it. I don't know if all that's going to happen tonight, because it is now 6 p.m. at night. So, but that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to get that side squared up first, cut this side up, square it, get it the same dimension, and machine it. And I can't remember. If you guys have already seen the machining, then you've seen the machining. If you haven't seen the machining, I'm going to show you the machining of the spindle on the lathe when I go ahead and do that. So either way, if you haven't seen it, you will. And if you have seen it, well, I'm not going to show it again. It's the exact same process twice. So anyways, that's where we're at. I will put you guys in a time lapse and we'll get that squared up, this cut off, squared up. And yeah, let's get after here. Diagram, you probably see me in the video or in the time lapse. Basically, this was actually an old guy showed me this trick. Wow. Okay. Guy's probably in his 40s when he showed me. I was in my 20s. Basically, if you take a wire wheel that's almost the same size as the inside of the diameter of your tube, and you put it in there, just electrical tape it, and you can feed it in and out with your air hose. I've used this for axle tubes on trucks and all kinds of different stuff, but I just thought I would talk a little bit about it. Like I said, it's just a wire wheel kind of like this one. This one's actually not quite big enough. It's just a little bit on the small side, so kind of work it back and forth more than you usually would. But if you get it so that it's like, let's say, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch smaller than the tube before it's fanned out, and you can go back and forth, clean your tubes all out. Now, if you have axle ends on, it's a lot harder because it doesn't fit through the axle end. But if you have the carrier out, you can actually feed it through this way. So if you're ever cleaning out axle tubes, this is a way to do it, but be forewarned. If you're doing it on front axle, and you have to do your inner axle seals and all that stuff, and have the carrier and stuff out. Otherwise, you're just going to fill everything with junk. But it's an easy way to clean tubes if you have rusty tubes. That's the reason I'm cleaning these ones. There's a little bit of rust in there. I wanted to make sure I got it cleaned up. So now we got this all knocked down to the sizes that I want. We're going to go over to the lathe. I'm going to knock the bearing and the hub off of the one that we cut off, the hub we cut off here. And then we're going to machine that down so it's the same as that one. And then we're going to fit it on there, double measure everything. And if we need to change something, I think if I need to take like a 1/16 of an inch or something, I'm going to take it off of the actual hub end because it doesn't really matter which end we take it off. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to go over to the lathe and we'll snippy, and I don't know if I'm going to spot weld these back together tonight. We'll see. the camera going. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys what we were doing. So you see me machine these down, or this one down. No, sorry, that one down. This one fit better on this side, so we put it on this side. That one fit better on that side, we put it on that side. So I got it tacked. I realized I didn't have the camera. I just tacked it with the MIG welder. So I got this bar in here, and basically this bar, you just put this bar in here and it centers it. So I have pucks in here. You probably can't see nothing. I have those pucks in there, and then I have these pucks here, and that helps everything stay center. So I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to put a pass with the TIG welder on, and then I'm going to put a cap with the MIG welder on. So I'm going to go into that, and yeah, we'll talk to you for a minute when we get her done.
My lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this.
All right, guys, so you seen Shay rolling it over for me there. He just stopped in. His son was just down the road playing basketball. So we got her all TIG welded up here, and the TIG welds actually look fantabulous. So we are going to now blast a dirty old MIG weld over top of it. And the reason for that is I want to make sure we have a real good fillet of weld in there. And I don't feel like doing 5 runs around with the TIG welder for a dirty old exhaust housing, or not exhaust housing, a dirty old diff housing. So I'm going to blast MIG welder on it, being that's already preheated at this point. I'm going to just do one good nice fillet weld around, and yeah, we'll get after it here. On there turned out pretty good, and the bar still spins, so that's nice. I'm gonna let it cool down. I'm just gonna leave the bar in there. When it cools down, everything will be kosher. Basically at this point, now what I need to do is tomorrow probably I'm gonna cut these perches off. Ooh, they're warm. Cut these perches off so we can put the new ones on. I have to massage the new ones a little bit. Because they don't fit. Oh, I think I was talking about that earlier. Anyways, we're gonna get those buzzed off so we can get these on. And then what we're gonna do is I'm probably gonna throw the carrier back together so that we can do our measurement for our axles. We're gonna throw the diff back in the truck so we can make sure that everything's kosher as far as that goes. And then I also have not shoved this box side out yet. So I'll get this box side shoved out a little bit, and we'll do that so we can get the tire underneath there. And then at that point, I'm waiting for parts for the diff. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the engine. So yeah, that's what we got going. I'm going to end this video here, and we'll take on when we start working on it again. So like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments, and remember, it's not rocket science.
Hey guys, check out the merch store, CUTTERUPRob.com, link in the description, for all the new merch that I just dropped. Help out the channel.